Hello, and once again I find myself being censored by YouTube. This is a video about the first Nazi terrorist attack against Poland, as you can see from the title. This is the YouTube studio, and what they've done here, this appears here, no ad earnings. What does that mean? It means to say that not only do I not get any revenue from this video, although YouTube probably will do, that is not the point. The point is this: if there is no revenue, YouTube will not promote the video. That's to say that you will not be able to find it unless you go to my channel page and in the search bar you write the words "the first Nazi terrorist attack against Poland." That is the only way you can find it. Now, when did this video go up? Well, if memory serves me correctly, I posted this in July. Well, it's now the 18th of August. And I posted it in July 2 years ago. This video has been up for 25 months at least. And YouTube today, within minutes of me posting this so that it is now scheduled, decided that it didn't want me to post this video. It's only now, I did nothing to change it. Nothing. It's these stupid games that YouTube plays once more. So, what is this video about? So that it now decides it doesn't want. It wants to censor. This video is about the beginning of World War II. And the fact that at the run-up to the war, Nazi Germany planned and carried out a number of terrorist attacks against Poland. So if you look in any book, it'll tell you probably that the first shots of World War II were fired at 04:45 or 04:39 sometimes, or 04:41 on the morning of the 1st of September 1939 at the Polish military base at Westerplatte. That's at the mouth of the Vistula River next to the Free State of Gdansk. And these shots were fired by the battleship Schleswig-Holstein, which had visited the Free State a few days earlier on a courtesy visit. And when the war didn't start as planned on the 26th of August 1939, it extended its visit. However, there are other places which claim to be where World War II actually started. The first is the town of Wielun, which is located close to the then Polish-German border. The town was largely destroyed in 3 or more bombing raids, the first of which is often said to have preceded the Schleswig-Holstein opening fire. However, this is not borne out by any documentary evidence. The first wave of bombers took it off at 05:02, so that's some 17 minutes after the Westerplatte came under fire, and around 30 minutes or so before the first bombs fell on the town. That's very approximate. Obviously, the flying time was less than 30 minutes, but they go up and then they sort of form up in the sky, and then they fly off. Now, a town with a better claim is Tchev, that's Dierschau in German. It was then on the border, so the town itself was in Poland, but in the west it was it was East Prussia, and there's a really nice bridge there. In fact, it was for a few months it was the longest bridge in the world when it was built. I mean, that was built some 80 years previously. And because of the importance of the bridge, it was a prime target. And indeed, the pilot could actually go on the bridge and they could actually prepare their attack, because they could see that the Polish side, they were actually preparing to blow the bridge up. And indeed, one of the Stuka pilots, he actually hit the demolition area. Must have been quite an amazing shot, really. But nonetheless, the Polish sappers managed to sort of replace it and blow it up. There was also an attempt to actually, by commandos hiding in a train, try to actually capture the bridge as well, but that failed. It wasn't really, the bridge itself wasn't actually replaced until about March or April repaired, I should say, March or April of 1940. But that would be a good place to have a claim that it was. Now, you could also say that the first shots were the people who were murdered in the German town of Siemensdorf, or rather it was in the Free City of Gdansk, and these people who were murdered at Siemensdorf, Polish railway workers could have been said to have been the first, and that happened around 2 in the morning of that day. Sorry, I said Dierschow, the other side was in East Prussia. It was in the Free City of Danzig, sorry, but which of course had been occupied by this time. Now, I am going to suggest, however, there was another location. That's what this video is all about. Now, I do appreciate that there are those who would say that, well, World War II started with the Japanese aggression against China, Italian attack on Abyssinia, or maybe even the Spanish Civil War, or whatnot. I mean, often people say it was the attack on the radio station at Gliwice. Now, the original plan was to invade Poland on at 4:25 in the morning of the 26th of August 1939. However, when Hitler found out that the United Kingdom had promised support if Poland was attacked, he cancelled the false flag and commando operations which were planned. There was approximately 15 sort of commando operations across the border. I mean, the best known, of course, is the Gliwice one with the radio station, but there were others as well. And one of these commando groups, I should really say terrorists rather than commando groups, was to capture the tunnel and the railway station at Mosty in the Jablonków Pass in the Carpathians, which was strategically important then, as it was the main railway route between Warsaw and Vienna. And so this was part of Czechoslovakia, which had been occupied by Poland in October 1938. A major mistake by the Polish government actually doing that. But anyway, that's a subject for another time, because this is, I'm really supposed to be talking about the YouTube's censorship of this video. So in the summer of 1939, by the time the danger from Nazi Germany was absolutely obvious, the tunnel had been prepared for demolition. And so there was a number of these terrorist attacks planned. They were all called off except for this one. The reason why this one went ahead was because the radio wasn't working that the terrorists had. And now the railway station, a female telephonist was able to raise the alarm, and whereas the station was captured by these terrorists, the Polish army counterattacked, it recaptured the station, and the terrorists scattered. And the head of the commander of the German 7th Army, who was General Major Eugen Ott, he found out about this. Well, of course, he knew it was going to be an attack on Poland because he was supposed to be leading it. But he made an excuse to his opposite number. It was General Józef Kustron, who was commander of the Polish 21st Mountain Infantry Division. And Ott claimed, somewhat disingenuously, given the amount of terrorists that were involved, that the commander had gone mad and he decided to attack Poland all by himself, which in itself doesn't make any sense at all, I would say. General Józef Kustron became the second general to be killed in World War II. So he was only going to live another 3 weeks after this. The first general to be killed, incidentally, I went to the place where he was killed on the 10th of September 1939. I went to this place 2 days ago, and I've just done a couple of videos on it. Now, as it happened, now that the Poles have been forewarned that something was up, they were able to blow up the Jablonków tunnel at 0600 on the 1st September 1939. German troops this time were approaching, and it took them some 5 months later to clear the bridge and get the bridge back in use, and the Warsaw-Vienna railway line running again. And at the end of World War II, Jablonków was returned to Czechoslovakia. Now, the point I would like to make now is, can you see what I've written here? And this is it. For whoever does the alleged manual control YouTube, the community guidelines are here, right? They had the community guidelines. This is the problem. They don't know their own community guidelines. There is nothing in this video which is a breach of their community guidelines. They've also got advertiser-friendly guidelines, which they can find by going there as well, because there's a link at the same place. Why can't they be bothered to do that? Why can't they? This is the problem with YouTube. They cannot. They don't know their own rules. If I'd done some AI slop, it would have gone through without any problems whatsoever. But this is researched history. I went to the places here. I've got photographs from there. There's a little bit of film as well. I've even put a map up there showing where the. I've got photographs of the people involved. This is genuine history, which I put up, but it's being censored by YouTube. The thing is this. I'm pretty certain they'll uncensor it, but I'm taking the video down. This video is no longer, there you go, scheduled for August the 24th, 2026. It won't be going up on that date. In fact, I might even put this video up on that date. I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do. What is needed is the following. There needs to be a serious competitor to YouTube, so that people like me who do genuine videos can post our stuff, and people who do AI slop can just put it up on YouTube. So YouTube can be the place for AI slop, and another place can be that for serious videos about history, serious videos about the history of pop music, serious videos about geography and volcanoes and how dams work and all of that stuff. Everything which is sort of educational, go on that site, and leave YouTube for the nonsense, people falling off chairs and things of that nature. Thanks for watching. That was a longer one than I planned. It's absolutely really winds me up, all of this. Not only that, there's nothing to do with YouTube, but my computer went down and I lost a pile of stuff. And this computer here, it's more than 14 years old now. It's nearly 15 years old, but at least it's working. Thanks for watching.